So this is the symbolism critique of one of the images from my classmates in section 202 from Robert Cole. So when I first look at this picture, I just kind of see a dog and someone in the background holding the leash, opening the door. So I kind of feel like the overall idea of this picture, like the symbolism that they were trying to show, was obedience and maybe even some love, because I feel like a trainer and their dog, there has to be love, and there's always just been the idea that dogs and humans love each other and care for each other. The first question asks, how effectively does the artist use the elements and principles of design in composing the image? I feel like the artist did pretty well with this. There was a lot of straight lines, and kind of the use of the foreground and the background kind of really showed the focus on the dog and the trainer. The straight lines kind of made it to where it felt like a very organized photo and that the artist knew what they were doing. Again, in the background, it's kind of a small opening for the door, and all you see in the picture, the real things that you see in the picture, are the owner and the dog. So it kind of gives a focus on them again. And the foreground, it kind of shows, like, guides the eyes of the viewer to the dog and the person in the background. So I feel like there's a good use of background and foreground, really giving the focus on what the picture, the main idea is of this picture. The second question asks, what is the image is about? And I feel like this kind of question is very vague, because you're not really sure what the image is about. Artists, you kind of just have your own idea of what it is, and the viewer kind of gets their own idea of what it is. To me, again, I feel like the image is about love and training of that dog, because I feel like the woman looks like she's trying to guide the dog into a certain way. So I feel like that is what the overall idea of this picture is just the training, and of course the love with a trainer and a dog. I mean, I feel like everyone knows the love that someone can have with a dog. The third question, it asks, what would you change about the image? One of the main elements that I saw that the artist used was the use of foreground and background, but the thing that I would probably change is the use of the foreground. The front of the picture, from my view, I feel like it is just way too open. You are focusing back on the dog and the person, but because the picture is so big and you can tell it's taken from a hallway, it's kind of hard to see through the door just from the angle that it was taken at. I feel like I could change, like, if that was changed, it would add a whole other element to the picture. You could maybe see what was in the background of this picture. You can, like, being a student at UK, you can tell this is at Whitehall, but if there was just a different angle that this picture was taken at, you'd be able to see maybe the trees or just what was outside of the building. And I feel like that just would add another concept or idea to this image. And the fourth question is, what could use improvement? Again, like I just said, I feel like the angle of the picture in which it was taken out would just, if it was just a little change where it was moved to the left so you could actually see what was going on in the background, or what the dog was looking at, or what the trainer was working with, I feel like that would actually help a lot. Again, I think if the foreground, there was like, it was close up to the dog, I feel like that would help the picture just being able to see what was going on. And then the focus in the back, it kind of looks like bad lighting. You can't really see the dog much. And I know it's a golden dog, so it's kind of hard to see in the sunlight. But I feel like if there was maybe more focus, or just focus on the dog, you'd be able to see more of the definition in the dog, and maybe just things like that. Again, like with the lighting, I feel like that can be improved. You can be able to see the dog more. There wouldn't be as much of a glare on the floor and things like that. So overall, this picture kind of had the theme of obedience and love to me, and I hope that's what the artist was trying to capture, because if so, they did a very good job.